Hello everyone, hope you're well and you're happy. In this video, we'll be making a coffee table. This coffee table is one of my favorite coffee table designs that I've ever done. It's beautiful, it goes well with every furniture in the house. So please do try it. It's nothing hectic, it's easy, and get ready to build. These are the list of the tools that I use for this build. And here's a list of all your wood measurements that you're gonna need for this coffee table. Please also convert to your nearest units that you're most comfortable with. Get pumped up and let's get ready to build. The first thing that we're going to do is to build the frame or the legs of the coffee table. So we're going to be doing this in 3 stages. So the first stage is just to build the top part of the frame, and also we're going to repeat this process twice. After arranging my wood, what I did was to make markings with a pen to indicate where I was going to pre-drill and also put screws on. When you're pre-drilling, just make sure that you put the holes about 10 millimeters apart to make sure that when you put in the screws, they don't touch. Before I put the screws together, what I did was to put a bit of wood glue between the joints. Putting wood glue is very important because it makes your structure very strong and steady, especially when you're dealing with thin wood like this. So it's very beneficial that you use wood glue between the joints. Please remember to share this video with your friends and your family or anyone who may want to make a coffee table. When you're busy putting the pieces together, please make sure that the two pieces that you're joining are in a straight line position. Now that you're done with the first part, now we move on to the second part, which is repeating step 1 all over again. The 2 base frames are all done. So now what we need to do is to just join the 2 base frames together using the 300 millimeter wood cut. So what I'm doing here is just making markings on where I'm going to put my second screw. So it's important to know that you need to put the screw between the 2 screws that you currently made, because if you don't put it in the middle, you're going to bump one of the screws. In the table together, it becomes very tricky, so you need to make sure that it's in a straight line position. You need to be very, very delicate about it and very slow if you need to make sure that your wood cuts are in a straight line position. Repeat the same process, and then once you're done, you can just start drilling your screws down. Here's another tip. So please make sure that you pre-drill in the middle, because if you don't pre-drill in the middle, what's going to happen is that your screws are going to bump and then you will not be able to have a strong joint. Now that we're all done with the base of our coffee table, it's time to apply wood filler. So the reason that we put wood filler is that it helps to cover the holes that we created when we were pre-drilling. And this week I decided to use wood filler because I wanted a bit of I didn't want to see screws on this on the coffee table. So the thing with the wood filler is that you need to wait a couple of minutes until it's dried out. Then you'll be able to sand it. Then it will give you a bit of a finer, smooth finish. Now we're coming to the labor intensive part, which is sanding. So with the sanding, I'm using an 80 grit sanding paper. I cut a bit of corners. I didn't get into much detail when I was sanding. I just give it a bit of a touch up because the wood itself didn't have any splits or any rough cuts, so I was looking more for industrial feel, so I didn't do much sanding here. Here's a tip. If you're intending on using your wood filler, please choose a color which is similar to the color that you're going to use for your final finish, because if you don't, it looks a bit funny. Now coming to the fun part, which is painting or staining your final product. And also remember to dust off any excess dust or any debris around your wood product before you start staining or painting. I use a stain for both my top and my bottom frame, so I went a bit adventurous and I mixed an imbula color and also a mahogany for the base of the coffee table. So I wanted something different. I was tired of the same old boring colors, so I just mixed up the two stains together. After mixing the two stains, what I did was to test it on an offcut to see how it would turn out. So I was happy with the result, so I went on with it. While I was busy staining, I didn't cover the full portion of the wood, so I only covered the top part, and then at the bottom I just give it a bit of a touch up. You can visit your nearest home improvement store or your hardware shop to buy the different stains. So what I do is that I buy maybe about 2 different color stains and then I work with that, because it gets to become too expensive if you buy too much of it. For the base or the legs of the coffee table, I used an ebony color, which is black. I don't know why I chose it. I just wanted something different. I wanted something that pops and that's not that's different from the mahogany color as well. This is how the final coats look. They look beautiful. The mahogany and the imbula looks beautiful, and the ebony as well looks amazing. So I'm happy with the results and how it turned out. We're nearly done with our coffee table, so now it's time to put all the pieces together. So this is a process that takes a bit of time. So I needed to give myself a bit of time so that I make sure that the tabletop is looking nice and flush. By flush, I mean is straight line, in a straight line position, and all the pieces are all are all aligned, if I can say that. So the first thing that I did was to clamp the 2 sides right at the edge. So this will be a good guide, and if the edge parts are all sorted, I will know how to move around the middle part. So this is very important. So here's another tip. If you don't have clamps, what I advise that you do is to flip around the table and work with it while so basically the tabletop will be upside down. That's how you'll be able to put your pieces together. After I was satisfied with how the table was looking, so what I did was to start screwing everything together. I used my 60mm screws to screw everything together. So what I did here was I went all crazy with the screws. I didn't count how many I was putting until I was very much satisfied that the table was tight and secure. So there's no rule of thumb on this. Your table is all done. You can dust off any excess dust that is needed. I'm so happy that this turned out so beautifully. This is very nice. I was actually very impressed with how the color came about. Please do try this. Don't be intimidated by how it looks. It's very easy. Just give yourself about 40 minutes to about an hour until you can finish this. You can try different stains as well, different paints, or you can even leave it raw. There's a picture that I'm going to show you on how it looks when it's raw. It's also so beautiful as well. So please try it, and remember to share this video with your friends and your family. And until we'll see each other next time, cheers, bye.